for the whole 3 years there. I've never had a complaint about my music being loud the whole 3 years. But the minute she moved into the apartment complex, here we go with the stomping on my ceiling, knocking up, like just doing all type of petty stuff. And I feel like that's really not fair for you to be petty and then turn around and trying to make it seem like I'm harassing you. And really at the end of the day, you harassing me. I don't even know your name. I don't talk to you. But all day, every day, you stomping on my ceiling. All day, every day, middle of the night, in the morning time, in the evening time, you stomping on my ceiling. That's disrespectful. That's harassing me.
Welcome back to Family Court Drama. In today's episode, the plaintiff is seeking a temporary protection order against her neighbour, accusing him of playing loud music that constantly disrupts her peace. After filing a complaint with property management, she claims the defendant confronted her, threatened her, and even brandished a weapon. On the other hand, the defendant acknowledges approaching the plaintiff about the complaint, but denies ever pulling a gun or making threats. He insists he only wanted to introduce himself and discuss the situation, but was met with hostility. Let's see how the judge rules on this case.
This one you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, so Ms. Pete, start from the most recent event, work backwards. You filed a stalking petition. So tell me what he has done to stalk you. Most recent event, give me dates and exactly what he did. Go ahead.
The most recent, I want to say maybe January 5th or January 9th, one of those dates. I was on my way to the car with my company. He came outside to confront us about stomping on his floor, I believe, because of his music. After about 20 minutes or so, I believe, at some point, going back and forth with him, he had some guy that came, brought him a gun. He accepted the gun from the guy, pulled the gun on me.
Who put the gun on you? Mr. Babb
Gave the
pulled
gun back. Yes.
Mr. Babb pulled a gun on you. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Pulled the gun on me, gave the gun back to the guy, and eventually I called the police, but he went back in his house to apparently grab another one or whatever. Waiting on the police to get there, and he went upstairs to my next door neighbor to do more than likely whatever he gave to the police. Whenever they did get out there, they checked him, he didn't have any weapons. Explained to them the whole situation. At that point, I hadn't had the PTO in place yet. Before then, I want to say December 26th or 29th, between those dates. Not the same thing. He was waiting on me to come downstairs at the gate to the stairs, coming up the stairs to my door. With his dog, confronted me about the same thing, stomping on the ceiling for him to stop playing his loud music, and also the fact that I had complained to management multiple times about the same thing. He threatened to shoot me and threatened to punch me in the face, and then also threatened to send his cousins to fight me in that altercation. That was, I think, 2 days after that. I saw the police report for that incident. Spoke to investigator Ware, I believe, at APD. And before all of that, I was just putting in the complaints with management and seeing what could be done about it. He had previously come up the stairs to knock on my door to ask me if I had filed a complaint. I didn't open my door because, no, I'm not obligated to open my door. There's also no peepholes in our apartment doors, and I have no reason to open my door again.
Ma'am, there's wind blowing. It keeps, the wind blows. I can't hear you every time the wind blows.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, sure. And Mr. Bab, I'm going to mute you because I hear stuff in the background from you. Okay, you can unmute. Go ahead now.
This has been going on since November when I first moved into the apartment. He plays this really loud music, and before anything, I contacted management, complained about it, contacted management, complained about it. At some point, he asked me why I didn't come down and talk to him about it. I shouldn't have to talk to you about it. That's common courtesy. We all live in an apartment complex. That's not something that you should be doing on a regular basis, and it's a lease violation. Management has also talked to you about it. For you to threaten me and pull a gun on me and all kind of stuff for something so simple and courteous is just ridiculous. And I have to live here because I signed a lease. And you live right below me. First of all, I shouldn't hear anything if you live below me and I live upstairs. And he has blown the situation out of proportion.
So it sounds like he's pulled a gun on you twice.
Once.
All right.
The first time he threatened to, the second time he did.
So are there any other threats?
No, there hasn't been any other threats. Recently, my lug nuts on my car were loosened on one of my wheels that I know I did not do. More than likely him, considering he's already threatened me. But the investigator Weir already talked to me about that situation and explained everything with that. But no, that's pretty much it. He hasn't threatened me since. He hasn't said anything to me directly since the last time we spoke outside with APD.
Okay, Mr. Babb, you can take yourself off mute and let me hear your side.
Okay. On January 2nd, I think that's when the incident with the police was had occurred. That day, it was a coincidence that we happened to come out at the same time. I'm a busybody, so I'm always moving. My schedule at work is it fluctuates. So that was just a coincidence. Plus my dog, I'm always taking my dog out on a set routine. So that day was just a coincidence. On that particular day, at that time where we met each other at the bottom of the stairs, her guy or her cousin, whoever it is, the male figure who she stayed with, he proceeded to be aggressive towards me, I guess from built up tension. I don't know if she was in his ear trying to, I guess, make him feel some type of way about the situation. I guess just venting to him, which made him, I guess, mad or have some pressure. So I guess when he seen me, he decided to just be a little, aggressive and try to show his that he's an alpha or alpha male or whatever. So that kind of just, even though he got aggressive with me, I wasn't aggressive with him until he started getting to my personal space and he started to proceed into my apartment. Then that's when I started to stand my ground, which was telling him that he need to back up. What you getting all aggressive for? I'm trying to have a conversation with your girl at this point since we out here on January 2nd. One of my friends from the neighborhood saw that he was getting aggressive with me, and I was just standing there looking. I guess to my friend, I guess I was looking scared and vulnerable to my friend, which is not my friend. I just know him from the the hood, the area. He offered. He was like, "Kirk, you good? You don't need a gun, do you?" And I was just like, "Nah, I'm straight." But I ain't just off rip say, "Oh, I'm straight." I thought about it, and I was just like, "Nah, I'm straight. I don't even need it. Ain't no point for me to have it." He carried on about his business. After that, the guy, her cousin or her boyfriend, he took off. He took my shirt and threw my property on the ground. So I don't know why he did that. He just continued to try to make me mad. He wanted to make me mad to get out of character, so he could say that I did something, which I already knew. So I just kind of just played it cool. When she was saying, so after I guess it was the thought of somebody offering me a weapon, because her boyfriend was asking everybody in the apartments, was just like, "Hey, do you know him? Hey, do you know him?" Because he said he know everybody. And then all of a sudden, like 5 minutes later, somebody random to him just pulled up and was just like, "Hey, Kirk, you good?" And then which kind of put him at confusing, like, so which he felt some type of way. Now when she was saying I went upstairs to my neighbor, our neighbor, I had got a phone call that like probably like 10 minutes later from my neighbor, and she called me and told me to come upstairs, and she wanted to let me know basically on what happened, on what she saw. And I actually got proof that she, hold on, give me 1 second while I share my camera. How do I share my camera? Share content.
It'll say share screen or something like that. Yeah.
Share screen. Start screen broadcast. All right. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. What is it you're going to show me?
Basically just where my neighbor, that same day on January 2nd.
Hold on a second. Are these text messages between you and your neighbor, or you and this lady?
No, not even text messages between me and her. I just got the text where she was just telling me that she watched everything. I wasn't texting her or anything like that.
Tell me, you're showing me text messages. Who are these text messages to and from?
These text messages are from both of our neighbor who stayed right beside her.
So I can't consider that because it's not between the two of you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. Okay. I'm trying to stop sharing my screen. Okay. Yeah, I don't have messages between her. I don't know her.
But do you have, I mean, you can understand how if somebody hands you a gun or you get a gun from somebody, especially today, right? How that could be pretty scary.
Yeah, ain't nobody hand me a gun though. Ain't nobody hand me a gun. Ain't nobody physically put, you know what I'm saying, give me a gun. I guess it's just the thought of her, like me knowing somebody who has a weapon. I don't own a gun in my name. I don't have a gun in my house or anything. And then on December 26th was, I think, the day that she filed a complaint about my music. Before I even knew about the complaint, I went up to their door. Yes, I did, because I've been a resident at Federal Court for 3 years. I know all the neighbors. No neighbors never complained. I never had my music up. I'm always mindful. That's one thing about me. So the fact that they just moved into the apartment complex. The main reason I really knocked on her door the first time on, I think it was December 26th. I knocked on the door. That was way before I even knew she had a complaint. It started off her stomping on my ceiling. All I remember was just somebody stomping on my ceiling like so hard, like they was jumping. And I'm just like, but I didn't say nothing. But then I heard it again that same day. So that's when I went up there and knocked on her door, introducing myself, because I've been there for 3 years. I know this person haven't. I remember seeing her, never introduced ourselves. So I want to introduce myself. Hey, my name Kirk. I've been here for 3 years. How you doing? None of that was, none of those procedures was taken. It was just more so stomping on my ceiling instead of coming downstairs. Hey, excuse me, my name is Whoop Whoop. I just moved here. I have a problem with the music. Do you mind turning it down? I would have easily said, oh, I apologize. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I've been here for 3 years. None of my neighbors never came to me and said, hey, your music loud. It's other people in the apartments who play loud music, and then it's not illegal to play loud music after 11 or something like that. So I have a right to play my music. So I'm just trying to see, like, why stomp on my ceiling multiple times and then try to play like victim, like, because you didn't handle the situation the right way. And this is what I was trying to tell her on January 2nd, because the fact that we just coincidentally happened to come out the door at the same time. So I was just like, well, might as well, since we're here, hey, I'm trying to talk to her, like, what's going on, have a professional grown-up conversation. But her guy was just so trying to be aggressive, and it wasn't a time for that. So that's why I don't know. So with the harassment thing, saying I was threatening her. Those are just like, I think she just feels some type of way. Because the fact that she didn't handle the situation as an adult. Instead of you communicating professionally, you just stumping on somebody's ceiling. That's not the right way to get that's not the right way to get what you want, by stumping on somebody's ceiling multiple times all day, every day. Like, basically what she's trying to tell me is I can't listen to my music. Like, I have to wait till she gone, and I don't even know her schedule. I shouldn't be having to worry about her schedule and when can I play my music. If I pay rent there, that's my name on that. I pay the bills there. So why should I cut my music down? Even like, and I'll never have my music loud anyway. So it's like, we live in apartments and the walls are thin. So I know the person upstairs, beside me, to the left of me, the right of me, they can hear it. So I've always been mindful. The whole 3 years there, I've never had a complaint about my music being loud the whole 3 years. But the minute she moved into the apartment complex, here we go with the stumping on my ceiling, knocking up, like just doing all type of petty stuff. And I feel like that's really not fair for you to be petty and then turn around and trying to make it seem like I'm harassing you. And really at the end of the day, you harassing me. I don't even know your name. I don't talk to you. But all day, every day, you stumping on my ceiling. All day, every day, middle of the night, in the morning time, in the evening time, you stumping on my ceiling. That's disrespectful. That's harassing me.
All right, hold on a second, Mr. Babb. Anything else you want to say, Miss Pete?
Not that I can think of. I did, but I can't remember now.
So since the last time the cops were there, you haven't heard anything from him, right?
No, just the music.
Have you asked the apartment complex to move you? I mean, apartment walls are thin. And what did they say?
They are trying to see about moving me, but my whole thing is it's not the walls. You live below me. And I have had recordings where I've had to record him playing his music really, really loud just because I shouldn't even be able to get that sound. But now I'm being displaced because you sat here and threatened me, pulled a gun on me. I'm not, no.
All right, here's what I'll do, okay? I'm just going to give you guys 30-day, like, chill out, everybody be cool. All right? Because, I mean, this is kind of something that happens. If there was a gun, it's a little much, but 30 days, see how y'all go. Maybe if they'll move you, you can get somewhere else. The apartment complexes, I can't tell you, they're thin. And Mr. Babb can play his music. He does need to be respectful. He says that he is respectful. I mean, I live in a house and I can hear my neighbors next door when they're having a party, but that's just kind of part of life. Everything else is going in the world, a little loud music, and that really is not a whole bunch. But if there was a weapon involved, that rises to a different level. So, sir, you have to stay like 10 feet away from her when you're at home. Ma'am, does he know is there a certain time at night? Do you have a child that goes to sleep? Maybe that.
I'm about to have a child.
What's that?
I'm about to have one.
Okay, so just you go to bed at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I mean, what is it that he can do to try to accommodate you to make things a little bit better?
We've already established that he needs to stop playing this album.
Well, I'm not going to make him stop playing his music, ma'am.
So I can just leave. Then I can leave. That's fine. At this point, it don't matter. I don't need to be here.
Well, ma'am, I mean, I'm not going to tell him he can't play his music. But I'm trying to ask you at night, if it's too loud, what time do you go to sleep so that he can try to work with you and be respectful of you as you could be of him? Neighbors and apartments have to be respectful of each other. Is there a certain time? I'm asking you. I mean, do you get up early? So do you need to go to bed by 11? If he could kind of turn it down a little bit at 11, tell me that. I'm trying to work with you here.
It's like it's her way or no way.
What'd you say, Miss Pete?
I'm home all day. I work from home.
you work from, you got to tell me the time, Miss Pete. What's a good time that you want him to keep his music down a little bit? Miss Pete?
12 to about 9, I guess. It don't matter. I'm just gonna leave.
Okay, I don't know what that means. What does that mean? You're just going to leave? So you don't want you don't want it, you don't want me to do anything.
What can you do? Because it doesn't sound like
I just said I'll put it in place for 30 days. They'll get you another apartment, but you've got to tell me. I go to bed at 11 o'clock and I'll say, Mr. Babb, do you mind turning your music down, at 10:45 so she can go to bed? That's what I'm asking you, and you're not giving me a time.
I work from home all day from about 12 to about 11 p.m. And then even then, outside of those hours, people are sleeping.
I can't tell him not to play his music. I don't know what it is you want me to do, Miss P. I tell you what. Okay, well, I tell you what. How about this? I was trying to give you a little breathing room there so you can get your other place. How about that, Mr. Babb? I'm just going to deny it if you both place your emails in the chat. Y'all have a good weekend and stay healthy and safe. Once you place your emails in chat, you can leave. Mr. Babb, keep a copy of place your email in there. Keep a copy of the dismissal order because it can take a week or so for it to come off GCIC.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
What a wild case. The judge decided to deny the temporary protection order, despite considering a 30-day cooling off period to ease tensions between the plaintiff and the defendant. Now, both parties will have to coexist until one of them decides to move out. So, what's your take on this outcome? Do you think the judge made the right call? And who do you believe was telling the truth? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.